Are we? And we are back here in Mid-Ohio. Ralph Shaheen and Ben Sissel, Mr. Do-It-All, is here with us as well. So now you get to do qualifying for TA2, Ben.
Yeah.
Cube 3 Architecture TA2.
I love this. And we just had our big American muscle cars from the 60s and 70s out there. Now these are our big American muscle cars from 2024 and 25, basically. And also some Toyota Camrys out there. And I've got to say, this is going to sound weird coming from me, but there's a Toyota Camry out there with that 70s, 80s off-road Toyota. What was the guy's name?
Ivan Stewart,
yes.
The Iron Man.
The livery, that's my favorite car in the field right now, Julian DaCosta's car.
It's a good-looking car. And, yeah, that's a paint scheme that harkens back to those eras, and also the Gurney Celicas, if you remember those.
Yeah. Willie T. Ribbs raced one of those.
Sure did.
So
Wally Dallenbach raced one.
Some of the best. I'm excited that you're in the booth for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, because I would say some of the best TA2 races in years past happen right here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is just a very good equalizing track. It's a rhythm track, very technical. You don't get a lot of time to rest, and we've had some unbelievable outcomes here.
In talking about the rhythm here, this place radically different than when we go next week at Road America. Not just because of the length of the straightaways and how much more open Road America is, but as we talked about when we were there earlier this year, at Road America, the corners are really all separated by a straightaway, significant straightaway, so that if you mess up somewhere, it's easy to get your rhythm back before you get to the next corner. Whereas here, if you make a mistake, for example, going into 5, you can be a mess all the way through Thunder Valley before you gather back up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't really – it can knock your whole lap out. But I think I just saw Noah Harmon lock up his left front there going into turn 4 real bad. So he might have kind of flat spotted, and you don't want to do that in qualifying. Gian Buffamonte, he has finished 2nd and 6th. I believe he's 8th in the points right now as a TA2 rookie. That is very impressive. Here's the silver hair cars.
Speaking of silver hair, former winners here include Thomas Merrill and Rafa Matos in a silver hair racing Chevrolet.
Yeah, Thomas is very good here, as is Rafa. There's Eric Cateman. We saw Skillman out there, and then he's running the Ray Skillman Ford Mustang of Eric Caton. Wait. There's Noah Harmon with Street Side Classics, going real deep into 4. That's a beautiful car.
Always fun to go kicking tires through the showroom at Street Side Classics.
I've never been.
Oh,
but
we
I've
can
heard
fix that.
Great things about it.
They're scattered around the country, about 6 to 8 different locations, like Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas, Tampa. I believe there's one in Phoenix.
Tristan McKee on the top of the board here. Now, with the new pavement in Mid-Ohio, they may go a few more laps than normal. Usually they only want to put 5 laps on these Pirelli P0s because they have to race on these. But now with the new pavement, the tire degradation isn't as bad. But Tristan McKee has been on the top this whole weekend. On the top or in second place going back and forth. And I know Team SLR likes to test here, but all the SLR cars are fast here.
When I was 14, Ben, I was thinking about, do I want some new Road Rider wheels on my Santa Cruz skateboard? Tristan McKee is 14 years old, and he's worrying about lap times in Mid-Ohio in a TA2 car with over 500 horsepower in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My, how times have changed, as they say. Because there were no 14-year-olds doing that even back then.
So the Gainbridge, HendrickCars.com, Franklin Road Apparel, M1 Team SLR, Tristan McKee laying it down. But then Corey Day now at the top of the board with a 123.775.
Woo. Get it back on. There you go, Tristan. I was talking with Corey yesterday. Known Corey for a long time, known his dad forever, Ronnie Day. And Corey tried, I said to him, I walked up, I said, boy, you really tried to bang yourself pretty good at Eagle in the sprint car. He goes, oh, yeah.
Really?
Because I took a wild one there. He goes, but I'm all right. He goes, just a little beat up and bruised up, but good to go.
Tristan McKee was on his flyer, went through deep into turn one, and I think he's going to cool it off a little bit, come in and try it again.
That's the real challenge with these young drivers like a Corey Day or even Tristan McKee, who's talking with him. He's running Cars Tour. He's doing a variety of different things as well. You know, you get these drivers doing all these different things. Kaylee Bryson is another one, running so many different forms of racing throughout the course of the year that you elevate the chances of a problem happening, A, because you're racing so much, for one, percentages get higher, but B, you start driving all these wilder variations of cars, things can get a little hairy, like a 410 wing sprint car for Corey Day.
Yeah. We saw that with Dyson, had a wreck in some kind of sprint car a couple years ago.
That was, I was there that night. I was standing on his trailer with his dad. It was a USAC Silver Crown car on the mile at Indianapolis at the fairgrounds there, the dirt track.
So there's Thomas Merrill, currently in 6th. Look at this, our 2 veterans, Rafa Matos and Merrill, 2 champions, are 5th and 6th. And Adrian Lostowski, I was talking to Billy today, like I'm really proud of Adrian Lostowski. He has really stepped it up this season. And we will see you, Adrian, on the podium at some time this season. He's not going to make a liar out of me.
No, he's definitely been a lot quicker. He's been very competitive, and we're on board with Adrian Vostovsky here as he runs down this.
He's cooling down a little bit.
This back section here.
He's on a cool down lap. I don't know if this is his final lap, but he would be going at a faster pace than that on a flyer. That's the CMI car. It's a pretty car.
It's a great looking car in person. I like the metallic red on there.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about Adrian is now he's got a crew chief and crew that he really, because he does everything. You know, he runs his auto shop out of basically Manhattan. I think it's in Brooklyn, so not Manhattan, but Brooklyn, one of the boroughs right there in the city. And he runs his business, he repairs cars, but his crew chief talking to him today is like, it took him a while for Adrian to trust me, but now that we have that trust, now Adrian can think about being a race car driver, and we've seen it. Like this season, something has clicked in him, and he's putting in the work, and now he's up there always fighting for the top 5.
Corey having a good run here.
He's a very good driver, isn't he? You're a lot more familiar with him than I am.
Yeah, West Coast kid. His dad was a very well-known flat track motorcycle racer and 410 winged sprint car racer. So spent a lot of time with Ronnie all around racing this, that, and everything.
Sam Corey in the top 5. Been very impressed with Sam Corey. He's the
There's
black
Merrill.
70. Yeah, Merrill is very good here. Merrill is very good at all the technical tracks.
Well, and as we said, a former winner here. Taking the checker in 2022 and 2020.
Mia Lovell, she didn't join us at Lime Rock. She was graduating.
Yep.
But she was here the weekend after Lime Rock with Sam Corey and some of the Nitro crew, and she loves Mid-Ohio, she said.
Yeah, she's ready to go. She's in 12th right now. Talked with her crew. They were feeling pretty confident that they were dialing the car in and headed in the right direction.
She's one of my favorite people in the paddock to talk to because she's a professional skateboarder, and I love skateboarding, but she is always game face. She always seems to be thinking 3-4 moves ahead, and she's loving this TA2 racing now, and it's one of those things like she's gotten really big into professional skateboarding, but that's very tough on your body. So it's funny, she's had some pretty nasty shunts this year, but, you know, she's kind of used to it being a professional skateboarder, but I think she's kind of feeling her groove as a professional race car driver now.
Yep. She's getting there, the 18-year-old out of Phoenix, Arizona.
She's about to go to college in your area.
She's going to go to Davidson College, just north of downtown Charlotte, which, of course, Davidson Wildcats is where Steph Curry became first well-known as they made it
They were
way
like
up the run in March
Cinderella
Madness.
story that year.
Yeah.
So that's the Nitro Motorsports. Mia Lovell, Toyota Camry.
And she's been a part of the Toyota development series, ran GR Cup, did all of that.
So that's a straightaway here. You see this right where we're looking at right now? That's what we call a straightaway.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Will Robinson, the Ivy Asset Group with Mike Cope race cars. And Ben Mayer. So Ben Mayer has raced with us the last 2 seasons. This is his first TA2 race with us this season. I know that he's trying to work out a truck for the Lime Rock race next weekend, but if he can't quite work that out, he's going to be with us at Road America, and I don't know how I want to pull on that one. You know, I want him to do, you know, what he wants to do and run, and I think he
progress.
Honestly, I think he might dominate the Lime Rock truck race if he's in a good machine, but I'd like to see him at Road America. But
There's your car.
Look at that thing. And I hate to give Nick Tucker any kind of compliments, but that is a good-looking car.
It's just a simple livery, but it really looks sharp.
Yeah, and so if it didn't have that history, like we were talking about, would that be? It's very power 70s, you know, like the different shades like that. But I always wonder that, are cars beautiful because of sometimes they're winning, or is it because there's just certain liveries that just really stand out?
And every car looks good in Victory Lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ivan was certainly an easy guy to cheer for. What a great individual he is. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet him, Ben, but he's a special character in his 80s and still just as built as ever. You know, he looks like he'd go run the 1,000 all by himself once again and win.
That's crazy. Well, Corey Day at the top with the 124.1. McKee, Tristan McKee right behind him, 124. So obviously Team M1 SLR has figured something out, because they've had 1-2, and then Barry Bowes has been at the top all weekend, but I'm not seeing him in the top 15 right now.
No, and Mia down there in 14th, just in front of Boris Said Jr.
Looks like we've got 19 seconds left.
Bufamonte in 9th. Merrill's sticking right around there in 8th. Rafa in 6th.
And then Harmon right next to him. So we've got 2 teammates in 6th and 7th. And Mia might be trying to do one last flyer. She's got
she's
one
hard
chance.
on the brakes at the keyhole.
I see that big Speed Sport 1 sticker on the front of that car.
Gotta love that, right?
Yeah.
We'll have this race on Speed Sport 1 live tomorrow. 1 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is when we go green.
The Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series live on Speed Sport, getting a little, her rear end came out just a little bit there at 5 at the top of Madness, so where the car gets very light. It normally does that, but just a little bit too much rotation, so that might take her out of her flyer lap. But she's starting right now 14th, but she's going to be coming in soon, and I believe that's it. There we go, Ralph.
Here's a look at it. Day, McKee, Annunziata, Vostovsky, and Sam Corey taking the top 5 spots. Matos, Harmon, Merrill, Bufamonte, and Mayer will finish off the top 10. DaCosta, Robinson, Caden, Lovell, and Boris Said Jr. complete the top 15. Well, with that happening, we will go ahead and make our way out of here for a minute. We're coming back, Ben. We got more racing to go here at Mid-Ohio. The day's not done yet.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today. So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom, and I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine, and it's getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.
Up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
And back here at Mid-Ohio.
Well, this makes sense now, Ralph, and I'm so sorry I didn't have the schedule in front of me, but this is Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series Pro-Am, and that's why I was asking where did Barry Bowes go, because I thought he fell back because he's been doing so well this weekend, but that's because he's running in the Pro-Am Championship, and I tell you what, this Pro-Am Championship is heating up with these four right here, Jared Odrick, Keith Prochek, Barry Bowes, and Tom Sheehan. So now it's all making sense. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I just, maybe my medicine is wearing out, or I'm not paying attention, but now we're figuring it out. There's Bob Accardo Jr. with the Make-A-Wish car. We've got Gio here with Make-A-Wish this weekend, and all these great fans up there on the hill. Here comes Barry Bowes. So this is qualifying for the Pro-Am with that Osseo Data Chevrolet Camaro M1 SLR car out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, followed by Jared Odrick. Keith Prochek with HP Tuners. Now, Keith Prochek is very good at Mid-Ohio.
Here we go. Underway.
Usually takes them about a lap and a half before they want to start setting down their flyers, but with only a handful of cars in the Pro-Am, I don't know why they're not more spread out. So here comes Jerry Watt in the 0-0 car. And Keith Prochek in the HP Tuners car. Tom Sheehan, Vixen Cycle Company. Doug Winston. Love having Doug Winston out here. And there's Bob Accardo Jr. on board with Jared Odrick. Look at his body language. He looks comfortable in the car. I like that he's wearing the yellow gloves. Just a little tap of the brake there. Make sure it's there. Watching his hands, he had a little bit of a right-left, but he looks smooth going through probably the most difficult section of the circuit. Now he's got a blind right-hander with a little bit of a crest of a hill down in the Thunder Valley. Mid-Ohio is a really tough track to be good at. It is like you were saying, some tracks you're setting yourself up for the next corner. In Mid-Ohio, you're setting yourself up for the next 3 corners. Here's Jim Gallagher, the regulator. Jim Gallagher, he's running that white nose as he hit the big sand barrel coming into pit in practice this morning. So the Coke team was able to get him back out there. So look at that. There's Barry Bowes in the top 10 already. And then Gallagher, Prochuk, Odrick, Winston, Sheehan, and Phillips.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to speak with Jared Odrick on Friday here. And we were talking about his football career. And I said, obviously, you're a very talented athlete. So athletically adjusting to racing was probably, somewhat easy for you that way. I said, but what transferred from your position that you played, which was on the defensive line, from your position to the car that you didn't think would be the case when you were first getting involved? And he said, it's interesting. In football, the play is only about 7 seconds, right? 10 seconds, it's all over, and you're headed back to the sidelines. And he said, then you get to the sidelines, coach is all up in your face, good, bad, or indifferent about what happened on the play, and somebody's sliding the surface they use in the NFL, I guess. It's not the iPad. I think they use the surface. Yeah. Slide the surface underneath you, and you watch the play over and see what you did and did wrong. He said, so then you have to quickly digest all of that information, what the coach was telling you, and then what you're seeing in the video, get it in your head, make a decision, and go right back out for the next play after. He said racing is similar in the fact that although the race is longer than the play is, he said as soon as you come in from a session, you're sitting down and ready to look at your video.
And he is definitely a student of the sport. I've known Jared now for about 2 years, and the amount of work that he has put into this. Also, his girlfriend, Crystal. Jared calls me sometimes and says, hey, has Trans Am ever thought about this? He's always thinking. You can tell he's got a marketing mind behind him. Very smart. Went to Penn State. Did really well there, obviously. #1 draft pick for the Miami Dolphins. But once you're a competitor like Jared Odrick, I just don't think maybe later in his life, golf or fishing might suit him.
Not now.
No. He wants
He's
to
got
be
too much
super
going on.
competitive. Yeah. And I love having the sport, and I'm surprised,
fantastic,
honestly, that we don't have more athletes from different things like that. Bruce Jenner racing the Trans Am Series, as did Walter Payton. So I'm surprised that we're not seeing more of that. There's Cale Phillips, who was on the podium with us at Lime Rock with the Mincy's Graphics Ford Mustang, that number 99.
Mike Kofer, who played for the 49ers, raced ASA for quite a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's been a few.
So here's Barry Bowes coming down. Now we're following Cale Phillips with that fire coming out through Madness. And behind him is Bowes, who is, look at that, he is in the top 4. So 3 of the 4 cars are Team SLR M1 with Scott Lagasse. That is impressive. They have figured out a setup for Mid-Ohio.
They sure have. Scott runs a pretty tight ship over there. Good organization.
Yeah, and I have to, he might not like me telling this publicly, but he was setting up the other day, and there he is running. And he came over and just kind of gave me a high five as he's jogging, but he's like, I got to stay in shape, man. And he's always kind of teetering if he's going to get back in the race car with us, and maybe, yeah. So I like seeing that. And always the competitor, Scott Lagasse Jr.
Yeah, you just got to find another way to let that competitiveness out, right? Sometimes it becomes ownership.
Doug Winston with Adrian Lostowski's team, Fast Auto. Barry Bowes, 1, 2, 3, M1. Look at that. I don't know if that's ever happened. And then to have a Pro-Am in the top 3. Barry Bowes, last year's not only Pro-Am champion, but the best acceptance speech I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. I have to give it up for him. He said something about he wanted to thank his first wife for making his home life so miserable it was easy to go racing every weekend. And he attributes her to his success or something like that. And I just thought that was awesome.
That's
Is one of the funniest things. I mean, the whole crowd was just roaring because it was also kind of out of character for Barry Bowes.
yeah.
Bob Accardo Jr. with Make-A-Wish coming into turn 4. Currently 22nd. Jim Gallagher up to 20th, and Audric would be second in Pro-Am, followed by Pro Chuck, and those are the top 3 in points, I believe, right now in the Pro-Am.
Yeah, Bob Accardo's gonna, as he always does, extends a hand out to the Make-A-Wish community to bring out a youngster to be a part of the weekend with him. And he's got a young man by the name of Gio coming out here with us tomorrow. Really looking forward to seeing Gio and welcoming him and his family into the Trans Am paddock with our TA2 series. And hopefully they have a fantastic time and can forget about every day for a while and just enjoy some good racing and a lot of noise.
I think it may be one of the best things we do at these events. I love it, and I'm very proud of our drivers and our crew and everybody in our
Everybody
paddock for
embraces it.
welcoming. Yeah.
And how can you not? Because when you meet these youngsters that are dealing with what they're dealing with, you find out, you think you've got it tough. Not even close to what these kids are putting up with, and they get through it like champs every day.
Yeah, we were talking about what a fighter some of these drivers are. These Make-A-Wish kids, they are really fighters.
Yep. Fighting the biggest battle of all.
That's a beautiful car, too. That's a Jim Guthrie car. So Jim raced the Western Championship with us, as is Bob Accardo Jr. But so I keep wanting to say the Jim Guthrie car, but that is Bob Accardo out there in that beautiful Make-A-Wish Foundation car. Gray in the number 64. He and his dad are both here, so that's Matt Gray in that number 64 with the Ryan car. But his father, Tim Gray, was in today's race in SGT, did really well. They're all with Troy and TRB. There's smoke coming out of the back there. Is that brakes? I think that's brakes. Mechanical.
Odrick hanging around there in 16th, Pro Chuck behind him. That was Sheehan in the Vixen car. And he ran in Indy with us and had a bit of a frustrating weekend there.
Well, he did really well in race 1, and then turn 1 of race 2, it all went wrong.
Yeah.
Jared Odrick running the cool box system, the iceless cooling system. Last year we had a heat index well over 100, so I went and talked to him because who would know more about physical conditioning than Jared Odrick? And you know, he said it is tough. So now he's running the cool box system, and I think that's going to help him out quite a bit.
Doing anything in Miami any time of the year can be tough. I don't know how those guys train for an NFL season down there in the summertime.
And then, like, when they have to go play, like, the Broncos or Buffalo.
Well, it killed them in the playoffs a couple of years ago because they had to go play Kansas City in the snow, remember?
Yeah.
They're just not a team built for that. Here's Jared.
Look at how upright he is in the car. Right on the wheel, looking at his mirrors. That's such a neat part of Mid-Ohio, that fence, the Armco on the driver's right there, giving you no room. Boris once told me, you know you're running the right line if you can just scrape the mirror on that.
Yeah. Just got to skim it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mid-Ohio stripe, kind of like a Darlington stripe,
Yeah.
if you will.
What is this speaker-looking thing in his car? I wonder what that is. See that?
Yeah. Kind of leaf-shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. He's got two of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not the cool box system, I don't think. Maybe he's listening to some tunes.
I mean, hey, why not? Whatever pushes you forward, right?
It'd have to be really loud speakers.
Yeah.
And then notice his windshield wiper there. It's off. Usually the windshield wiper's in the center. Not
Yeah,
sure
he's
what's
just worried
happening.
about his side of the car.
Yeah, but a lot of the drivers will put it upright, in more of an upright position,
Mm-hmm.
just for aero. And with, these things being decided by thousandths of a second, every little
Can
bit
make
counts.
a difference. Oh, yeah. Over to the Mid-Ohio version of the carousel. And with that, Ben is gone. Off to take control of something else. He's got a grid walk coming up, he says. Okay. Odrick still working his way around, trying to get another quick lap in there, see if he can move up from his 16th starting spot right now. And the checkered flag is out, ending that session. Here's your overall qualifying results for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, which will race tomorrow live here on Speed Sport 1 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Corey Day getting his first pole of the year. Ben Mayer will be 11th. Julian DaCosta, that cool Toyota livery, number 30, will be 12th. Bob Accardo, 23rd. Tom Sheehan, 22nd. And with that, we will wrap up Cube 3 Architecture TA2, and we will get ready for the Ligier JFC Championship, which is up next. Stay with us.
Yes. Hon, the weather tech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product, backed Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street-legal. Find the Hawk Performance Brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.